They found her body in the trunk of her own car, but the 911 call that should have solved the case was a carefully crafted lie. Hook end. It was a Tuesday evening in late October when 27-year-old Emily Hartmann failed to pick up her daughter from daycare. Her husband, Mark, called her phone repeatedly, but each call went straight to voicemail. By 8 p.m., he was pacing their suburban home in Greenfield, Wisconsin, a knot of anxiety tightening in his chest. Emily was a creature of habit. She never missed a pickup. She never ignored his calls. Something was wrong. Pattern interrupt. At 8:14 p.m., Mark made the call that would set everything in motion. He dialed 911. His voice was strained but controlled. He said his wife hadn't come home. Her car was missing, and he was worried. The dispatcher took down the details. Emily's silver Honda Civic, her last known location at the grocery store around 6 p.m., and her phone, which was now dead. Cliffhanger. But what Mark didn't know was that the police would soon find Emily's car parked at a rest stop off Interstate 94. The trunk was locked. Inside, Emily was dead, strangled. Her body posed in a way that suggested the killer wanted her found. The case looked like a random attack, a carjacking gone wrong. But the investigation would reveal something far more sinister. A calculated, almost perfect crime that nearly succeeded. Pattern interrupt Act 1. The perfect setup. Emily and Mark Hartmann had been married for 6 years. They had a 3-year-old daughter, Lily. To friends and family, they were the picture of a happy couple. Mark worked as a financial analyst, Emily as a nurse. They had a nice house, a white picket fence, and a golden retriever named Buster. But behind closed doors, cracks were forming. Mark had a gambling problem. He'd racked up $40,000 in debt, hidden from Emily, and she had discovered it just a week before her death. Pattern interrupt. According to Emily's best friend, Sarah, Emily had confronted Mark. She gave him an ultimatum. Get help, or she'd leave and take Lily. Mark promised to change. He swore he'd attend Gamblers Anonymous, but Emily was skeptical. She told Sarah she was considering a temporary separation. Sarah would later testify that Emily seemed scared, but not of Mark. Scared of what would happen to Lily if the marriage fell apart. Cliffhanger. The night Emily disappeared, Mark's alibi seemed solid. He was at home, he said, watching TV and putting Lily to bed. The 911 call was time-stamped at 8:14 p.m., but police noticed something odd. Mark's voice. It was too calm. He wasn't crying. He wasn't panicking. He was rehearsed. That was the first red flag. Pattern interrupt Act 2. The investigation unfolds. Detective Angela Torres took the lead. She had 15 years of experience and a gut instinct that never lied. She started with the basics. The grocery store cameras showed Emily buying milk and bread at 5:52 p.m. She left alone. The rest stop where her car was found was 20 minutes away. The time of death was estimated between 6:30 and 7 p.m. That gave the killer a narrow window. Pattern interrupt. Torres interviewed Mark the next day. He sat in the interrogation room, hands folded, eyes red. He repeated his story. He was home. He watched the news. He put Lily to bed at 7:30. He tried calling Emily at 7:45 and got voicemail. He waited until 8:14 to call police. "Why did you wait so long?" Torres asked. Mark hesitated. "I thought she might be with a friend. I didn't want to overreact." Cliffhanger. But the timeline didn't add up. Emily's phone pinged a tower near the rest stop at 6:45 p.m. Then it went dead. If Mark was home, how could he have been involved? Torres checked the phone records. Mark's phone was at home until 7 p.m. Then it moved. It pinged a tower near the rest stop at 7:10 p.m. Then it went back home by 7:35 p.m. The distance was 25 miles. Possible if you drove fast. Pattern interrupt. Torres brought Mark in for a second interview. This time, she had evidence. She played the 911 call again. "Can you explain why your phone was near the rest stop at 7:10 p.m.? Mark's face went pale. He stammered. I went for a drive. I was looking for her." "But you said you were home the whole time." Mark's story changed. He said he got worried and drove around. But why lie? Because Torres believed he killed Emily, staged the scene, then drove home to call 911. Cliffhanger. The psychological insight here is crucial. Mark didn't plan a perfect crime. He planned a crime that looked perfect. He thought if he could create a victim, a carjacking, a random attack, he would be the grieving husband, not the suspect. But he made a fatal mistake. He couldn't control his own emotions. His calmness during the 911 call was a mask, and masks always slip. Pattern Interrupt Act 3. The twist that broke the case. During the second interview, Torres presented Mark with a piece of evidence he didn't expect. The rest stop had a security camera. It was hidden, pointed at the parking lot. The footage showed a silver Honda Civic pulling in at 6:40 p.m. A man got out. He opened the trunk, placed something inside, then closed it. He got back in the driver's seat and drove away. The man was wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses. But the camera caught his gait, his build, and a distinct limp. Mark had a knee injury from high school football. Pattern Interrupt. Torres played the footage in the interrogation room. Mark watched in silence. Then he said, "That's not me." But his voice cracked. Torres leaned in. "We have a witness, Mark. A truck driver who stopped at the rest stop around 6:45. He saw a man matching your description struggling with a trunk. He thought it was a flat tire. He didn't think anything of it until he saw the news." Cliffhanger. Mark broke. He confessed. He admitted to killing Emily in a fit of rage after she threatened to leave him. He strangled her in the garage, then drove to the rest stop to stage the scene. He planned to make it look like a random murder. He thought he had the perfect alibi. But he forgot one thing: the camera, and the truck driver, and the phone ping. The perfect crime almost worked, but perfection is an illusion. Pattern Interrupt. The resolution came in court. Mark pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 25 years to life. Emily's family spoke at the sentencing. They described her as a devoted mother, a loving daughter, and a woman who trusted the wrong person. Mark sat in the courtroom, head down, no tears. The judge called his actions calculated and cold-blooded. Pattern Interrupt. But the case left lingering questions. How many other perfect crimes have succeeded? How many killers have walked free because they were smart enough to cover their tracks? The Hartmann case is a reminder that even the most careful criminals make mistakes. And those mistakes, no matter how small, can unravel everything. Cliffhanger. For Emily's daughter, Lily, the questions are even deeper. She'll grow up knowing her father killed her mother. She'll carry that weight forever. The system failed her. The family failed her. And a man who wanted a perfect crime left a permanent scar. Pattern Interrupt. The broader implications are sobering. Domestic violence often escalates when a victim tries to leave. Emily's story is tragically common. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 20% of homicide victims are killed by an intimate partner. And in many cases, the killer plans the crime meticulously. They think they can outsmart the police, but they can't outsmart physics. They can't outsmart cameras, and they can't outsmart their own psychology. Pattern Interrupt. In the end, the perfect crime is a myth. Every action leaves a trace. Every lie leaves a crack. Mark Hartmann thought he could build a fortress of deception, but the walls crumbled, and justice, however delayed, found its way through. Pattern Interrupt. If you found this case compelling, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of crime. And let me know in the comments. What do you think drives someone to believe they can commit the perfect crime? Is it arrogance, desperation, or something darker? Pattern Interrupt. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and stay safe.